I just want to do this video as a way of announcement. If you have no business at Nnewi today, tomorrow till Sunday, I beg avoid Nnewi, especially around Ifeanyi Ubah burial activity, because what I saw is bigger than my eyes. They have turned this place to a military zone, war zone for that matter.
This is Nnewi. You can see enough security. Where are those baggers and idiots making noise? Let them come out. You can see what is happening. I'm in Nnewi now. You can see the security. I can see all those boys making noise on the social media that they won't be buried of our man. It's not possible.
Even after the warning by the Biafra Liberation Army to Governor Chukwuma Soludo not to bury Ifeanyi Ubah in Nnewi, he has gone ahead with the burial. Ifeanyi Ubah was buried against Biafran wishes as over 1,000 Nigerian terrorist soldiers stay on guard on the burial day. This news report is about the controversial burial event of late Nigerian senator in Biafra land, which is Nnewi, Anambra State. The news highlights alleged community rejection of the burial due to the senator's past actions, especially his betrayal to the Biafran cause and his involvement in selling out Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the Nigerian terrorist government. There was protest by local youth in Nnewi not to bury Ifeanyi Ubah in Nnewi, and the Nigerian government sent down heavy military forces down to Nnewi to guide the burial, which led to casualties.
See, I'm there now. Go for that. The other side.
Kita ka ọ na-eme nekwa onye nke adị na enwekwa onye nke ọzọ nọ na mgbago ebe elu. Jesus. Ndị yutu ya achọ nwa ife na-eme na-edi moto na ozugbo ndị amị ahụ gafecha aka ife niile abido mewe ozugbo kita ka o mewelu ife ahụ venza blue faded blue na onye akịta onye nke amahọ ya onye nke ejewalgo amahọ m so n'ọnya the other side enwekwala onye nke ọzọ nọkwa ebe ahụ. Onye moto ahụ adịkwa one the second person. Onye nke anyị achọ ka akpọ call abịa ka eburu ha na the second person. Say malise si clear ya ka abịa ba clear this mess because na ọ na clear ha ụjọ ya dị ndị mmadụ na ahụ niile ka clear this mess na ọ amala onye anyị akpọ onye ahụ the second person. That's the motor there na.
However, this tweet by Daniel Somtochukwu reads, "Breaking news. Happening live in Nnewi. Youths are protesting against the burial of Ifeanyi Ubah in Nnewi. Evil that men do lives within them." This is a tweet from Daniel Somtochukwu. The burial was portrayed as bloody, with accusations that innocent Biafran civilians were harmed to secure Senator Ifeanyi Ubah's burial in his hometown in Nnewi. The community, especially the youth, reportedly opposed the senator's burial in his ancestral land. Youth protests were allegedly met with military actions. Troops and armed vehicles were deployed to secure the burial. There are claims that several unarmed civilians were harmed or killed during the protest by the Nigerian military. The news also suggests a coordinated effort to suppress dissent, resulting in loss of lives, including bystanders not involved in the protest. The burial is described as the worst and bloody burial, symbolizing broader tensions in Biafra land. These actions by the Nigerian terrorist government shows that they are not ready to make peace with the Biafrans. There were so many casualties and loss of lives during Ifeanyi Ubah's burial. I can't post the footage of the burial and the casualties here because of YouTube's community guidelines. Such incidents often underscore broader societal tensions, including dissatisfaction with political figures and militarization of civil spaces in Nigeria. The framing of this burial as a reflection of broader Biafran struggles connects it to historical and ongoing regional grievances. Now let me take you to the bustling town of Nnewi, deep in the heart of Anambra State. Nnewi is a place known for its industrious people, thriving businesses, and proud heritage. But recently, something dark and tragic happened here. An incident that has left many in shock and mourning. It is a story of division, defiance, and loss. It all started with the death of Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, a man of influence, wealth, and controversy. His passing could have been just another high-profile funeral, but Ifeanyi Ubah was no ordinary man. His name carried weight, and not always for the right reasons. You see, to many people in Biafra land, Ifeanyi Ubah wasn't just a senator or a businessman. He was a man they accused of betraying their cause. People said he worked with the Nigerian government against Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and someone seen as a symbol of the Biafran struggle. For years, Nnamdi Kanu has been at the forefront of the fight for Biafra's independence. To the people, Ifeanyi Ubah's alleged actions were unforgivable. So when plans to bury him in his hometown of Nnewi were announced, it was like lighting a match in a room full of gasoline. Before the burial, a group known as the Biafran Liberation Army (BLA) issued a clear and stern warning: do not bury him here. His actions have brought pain to our people, and we won't allow his burial to disrespect our land. The warning wasn't a secret. It echoed across the town, amplified by social media, local meetings, and the angry voices of the youth. People believe this burial would dishonor the land. To them, allowing Ifeanyi Ubah to rest in Nnewi was like saying that his alleged betrayal didn't matter. Despite the protests and threats, the burial plans moved forward. Governor Chukwuma Soludo, the family, and other powerful figures decided they wouldn't back down. They wanted to honor the senator's wish to be buried in his ancestral land, no matter what. But to do this, they knew they would need protection, lots of it. When the day of the burial arrived, Nnewi didn't look like the peaceful town it usually was. It looked like a war zone. Imagine this: military trucks rumbling through the streets, soldiers armed with rifles stationed at every corner, and the low hum of tension in the air. Over 1,000 heavily armed soldiers were deployed to secure the burial. The sight was intimidating. These weren't just regular soldiers. They came with armored vehicles, heavy weaponry, and a clear message: we are in control. The youths of Nnewi, however, weren't about to be silenced. They gathered in large numbers, chanting and protesting. They didn't come with weapons or any intention of violence. They only wanted their voice to be heard. But the Nigerian soldiers saw things differently. The first shot rang out in the middle of the crowd. Panic spread like wildfire as people scattered in every direction. The soldiers, referred to as some of the Nigerian terrorist forces, opened fire on the protesters. What happened next was chaos. Some say 3 people were killed. Others claim the number was much higher. Videos from that day showed lifeless bodies laying in pools of blood. Witnesses describe how unarmed civilians were shot, some of them bystanders who had no part in the protest. One story stood out. A young man, barely in his 20s, was on a motorcycle heading to work when he was caught in the crossfire. He wasn't a protester. He wasn't even aware of what was happening, yet he lost his life that day, a casualty of a conflict he had no part in. The news of the violence spread quickly. Families gathered to mourn their lost loved ones, their wails echoing through the streets of Nnewi. Parents cried over the bodies of their children. Friends held each other, struggling to make sense of the senseless. How did we get here? People ask. Why did it have to end this way? For many, the burial wasn't just about Ifeanyi Ubah anymore. It had become a symbol of something much bigger: the ongoing struggle between the people of Biafra and the Nigerian government. Despite the protest and the bloodshed, Ifeanyi Ubah was buried. The burial itself was nothing short of grand. Dignitaries from all over the country attended, surrounded by tight security. Celebrities arrived in convoys, their cars flanked by private security guards. The scene was surreal, wealth and power on display amidst the mourning and anger of the community. To many in Nnewi, the burial felt forced. It wasn't a ceremony of peace or closure. It was a show of strength, a statement from the government that they would do whatever it takes to maintain control. Now let's talk about Ifeanyi Ubah for a moment. Who was he really? To some, he was a successful businessman who rose from humble beginnings to become a senator. He built a fortune, created jobs, and even donated to community projects. But to others, his wealth and influence came at a cost. They believed he had betrayed his people, working against the very struggle that defined their identity. The accusation that he helped the Nigerian government capture Nnamdi Kanu was particularly damaging. In life, he was a man of contradictions. In death, he became a symbol of division. The events surrounding the burial highlight a much larger issue: the tension between the Nigerian government and the people of Biafra. For decades, Biafra has been a region yearning for independence, for recognition, for respect. The scars of the Biafran War, fought over 50 years ago, still linger. The people of Biafra feel marginalized, their voices ignored, their rights trampled on. The burial of Ifeanyi Ubah was just one event, but it reflected these broader struggles. It showed how deeply the wounds of the past still run and how easily they can be reopened. When the soldiers finally left Nnewi, they left behind a town forever changed. The streets were quiet, but the silence wasn't peaceful. It was the kind of silence that comes after a storm, heavy, uneasy, and filled with unanswered questions. Families buried their dead, mourners gathered, and the youths of Nnewi vowed to keep fighting for what they believe in. The burial was over, but the pain and anger it caused would last much longer. So what do you take away from all this? How do we move forward from such a tragedy? First, it is clear that the issues between Biafra and the Nigerian government cannot be ignored. They won't be solved by force or intimidation. They require dialogue, understanding, and a willingness to address the root causes of the conflict. Second, this incident should remind us all of the value of human life. The loss of innocent lives, whether they were protesters or bystanders, should never be accepted as collateral damage. Finally, it is a call for accountability. Those responsible for the violence must be held to account. And as a society, we must ask ourselves, how do we prevent something like this from happening again? As we end this story, my thoughts are with the people of Nnewi, the families who lost loved ones, the youth who protested, and everyone caught in the crossfire of these tragic events. May we find a way to heal. May we honor the memories of those we have lost. And may we walk towards a future where stories like this one are no longer a part of our reality. I'll play the video for you guys to watch and see for yourself.
Alpha. Okay. Vous êtes allé? Ok, Siaga. Okay, I know, it's not, it's not. Okay. How do you go tell a bomb na phone? Bomb na phone, you go tell. Okay. All right. Yeah. So side. Ubah. Hey, I can wanko. Hey. What's the finish? Hey, Ubah.
Just so cool. Walking over.
Anda be Guyana. Sharp. It's one again after back on the bottle. Anda, body, and she comes.
I just want to do this video as a way of announcement. If you have no business at Nnewi today, tomorrow till Sunday, I beg avoid Nnewi, especially around Ifeanyi Ubah burial activity, because what I saw is bigger than my eyes. They have turned this place to a military zone, war zone for that matter.
This is Nnewi. You can see enough security. Where are those backers and idiots making noise? Let them come out. You can see what is happening. I'm in Nnewi now. You can see the security. I can see all those boys making noise on the social media that they won't be very of our man. It's not possible. Then you reckon that
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.